And BBJ is going to get a relationship reading. And we're going to ask what spirit would want them to know about that situation right now. Now, BBJ, I need a few things from you. Oh, thank you very much. I need 3 numbers. The first one, between 1 and 16. The second one, between 1 and 22. And the third, between 1 and 40. All right. So, I read a little differently than most other readers, in that I have my own notebook of interpretations, and I pull that or I pull from that what the cards are saying. Mainly because I'm not very good at memorizing stuff. And this allows me to not stay so stuck on just one thought of a card, and allows for a bit of a deeper meaning. This spread, I'm going to have to come up with a name for it eventually. But this spread is one that I've come up with myself. I'll split the deck into 3. I have the court cards. I have the major arcana, and then I have the lower 40 of the minor arcana. And so that's the split, and it just gives a good quick glance. So the first card in this deck, it's called the King of Shields. It's formerly known as the King of Pentacles, or the King of Coins. Just depending upon the deck. This card indicates a person that is wise in business and finances. Somebody that is practical and steady. They apply themselves in a practical manner that to bring the best results. So I'm going to get into that in just a second, but I want to go ahead and give the preview of each of these. The card from the major arcana is 14. In this deck, it's called Equilibrium. It's also known as Temperance. The Equilibrium talks about a relationship that has the potential to teach one a great deal about oneself. The relationship could be right for them, but they need to allow it to unfold itself and not force it. It talks about being patient, love being on the way, and to just keep focusing on one's goals. So, then, and we all get scared of the dark cards, right? Well, I'm going to try not to be scary. This talks about being in an ego-controlled relationship. Individuals should remember to stay in their heart. Also, the individual could attract relationships that soon become conflicts. So, that's the breakdown, okay? But we're going to try to bring this together. You said his name was... Let's see. A little bit more. Trey. Okay. So, I'm guessing Trey, from what you know about him, is this King of Pentacles type. Okay. And that may not be... That may not be of his own doing. That could be... from issues of times past. But he does feel like a leader type. I mean, he doesn't, not like overbearing, but just like he knows what he's doing. Okay. All right. Does he say stuff like, how he doesn't want to be in that position. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. I think I kind of get that. Are you all just friends right now? Because I got this feeling of he keeps you close, but only at an arm's distance. Oh. I see. I don't necessarily think that it's very mean. I don't necessarily think that it's much of anything to do with him directly. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm getting. 'Cause these cards here I mean, it doesn't really do it for me. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm saying that there's another thought here, and I'm trying to trace the two together. So the Five of Swords is the past in this scenario. Like I said, this is a loose interpretation spread, which means that depending upon how things feel, it kind of gives it lets into the emotions of what is in the reading. The Five of Swords is a past thing. So this is you and your relationship with him, which, by the way, I don't see anything that's really necessarily a negative. It's just that there happens to be conflict around he and you with his family, along with, I'm going to say, probably the company as well. Is this like a family owned company? Is he like getting ready to, is he being prepped to take the company over? So let me go back to Temperance for a second. Give me a number, 1 to 44. Okay. So, and this is what I was kind of leaning toward, but I wanted to be clear on it, on my thought. It sounds like you're at a point where you really need to consider what you feel. And you need it, this is something that I feel like that you really need to try to focus in on and figure out, do you do something that is just good for you, or do you hope that things get better and hope that things work out for your highest good? So the card that came up was clear cognizance. And it says to pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Okay. So pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your feelings. Because just because you had something with someone before, and even though we may still hold on to those moments, we need to be able to think clearly. And I think that that's what equilibrium and the Five of Swords, which I said the Five of Swords is also kind of a past card, but it's playing kind of two roles here. It's playing a past card, but it's also playing the card of a message as well. And that is to take your time, but follow your heart. You know, in the Five of Swords, we have this warrior who has defeated several foes, and he's walking off with all of their swords, and so he's boosted up his ego, and that's not what we want. We don't want to approach this from a part of us that says, oh, well, you did X, Y, and Z, but I did this. So approaching him with love and a clear mind And maybe even being clear with him that, look, I want to be here for you, but you have to be willing to let me be here for you. You have to be willing to let me be the shoulder to cry on. And let go of whatever everybody else is trying to force you to do. Because if you want to be in this relationship, then we're going to have to work together. So, but don't be forceful with it. Don't be forceful with it. My tone of voice right then is too much. Don't use that tone of voice. You're going to have to be very, very gentle about it. And if he doesn't accept, then don't entertain it. Because then that's just going to continue to give him the power. And he doesn't need power. He needs assistance. He needs a helpmate. I understand. But you're going to have to hold back on the horses just a bit. And with the right temperament and the right attitude, I would say that he would be able, he's going to be able to let that go. Because as a king of shields is not really an arrogant, egotistic type of person. They are usually laid back, but very into their finances. They're well, how do I put it? I mean, they are reliable. They're practical with financial matters. They care about providing security for the family. They are a good provider. So, it sounds like somebody is, or there's some kind of conflict that's bringing him to a point of or making him think, I'm not as good as these people. And that is kind of being in the ego, but it sounds like a bit of depression thing too. Not trying to say that he's depressed. It's just that he's not quite where he needs to be, and that's sad. I don't like that for people. So I hope I have helped you. I'm guessing I clearly have, because you've given me so many affirmations here and so on. If you would like to talk about it further, I'd be more than happy. too. But I think this guy's going to call it a night. Thank you for... You're fine. You're fine. Thank you for letting me read you. I don't know. YouTube. Okay. All right. Thank you, BB. Bless you. Good night. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You have wasted another perfectly good evening with Stíofán Séamus, Guide of the Light. Well, no.